You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is a show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, we are celebrating today. Celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Looks like it is National Cranberry Relish Day. I don't know. What do you think? Cranberry relish. My mom used to make a great cranberry sauce, but I'm a simple guy, and I couldn't say this to my mom because, I didn't want to make her feel bad. But, that cranberry sauce that comes out of the can, it's like a little gelatin type thing, and you just slice it in half. I'm a simple guy. Just give me that stuff and the fancy cranberries and all that other stuff. I don't know. What do you like? Do you like the fancy one or do you like the homemade one? Fresh? Or can you just open the can? Now, I did learn this. It took me several years to learn this one with the one in the can. So very similar to, I should say I learned this in college. It's it's something you actually learn. It's one of the few things that you learn in college that you use in life. So if you put a hole in one end, you open up the one side of it, take that lid off, put a hole in the other side, and it slides right on out. Now, I'm not going to go into detail as to how I figured that out, but you could probably just use your imagination, right? And just slice that stuff up. It's and our team, they did this great job. They went and made this really cool graphic. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our social channels, they've got this really cool graphic of the fresh cranberries and I don't know what that is, probably sugar and an orange wedge, and to me, you go to that can. Okay, I better move right along because otherwise they're going to tell me I had way too much fun on the broadcast today. Look at what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones is up 259 points right now. S&P 500 is up 13. NASDAQ is down 117. I wonder what happened to the NASDAQ. I thought that it was doing pretty well earlier today, but it's now down 114 points. Wonder what I better, I know we're doing a live radio broadcast right here, right now, but something, it's just one of those things you have to do. Apple stock, yeah, it's up $3.13. I'm not giving you any advice on what to buy, but Apple stock is up. Microsoft is down 32 cents. Wonder what happened there. It was up quite a bit on an upgrade. Earlier, one of the big companies came out with an upgrade to saying that they thought that Apple was going to go to 400. Don't know whether it will or will not. Oil up 44 cents a barrel. Heard on one of the market channels this morning. They were actually talking about the idea that maybe oil is finally peaking. Maybe gas prices are finally peaking. Josh, you probably got to experience California gas firsthand coming out here to visit. You gotta love California. I mean, Nevada's not great, but California, I bet you filled up right there at the county line before you crossed over the border, and then put in just enough to get back to the county line again and deal with it, because, you know, right here in California, we're looking at gas prices. Are you ready for this one? $4.71 a gallon.
Ow!
Yeah, that's the average throughout the state of California. $4.71 a gallon. I know Brandon had nothing to do with it, but a year ago at this time, $3.17 a gallon. $3.17. So we're up, what, $1.60 a gallon? In a year's time. That's better than a 50% increase. I wonder why. Could it have anything to do with regulation? So, Josh, you got home and you saved 72 cents a gallon in Nevada. 72 cents a gallon. Now, I've never looked to see if there are refineries in Nevada. I wonder if they're shipping the gas in from California, and then there's so much less tax in Nevada that their gas prices, they get California gas, and being that they don't have California tax, it's a lot cheaper. Just a thought for you there. Lori's still at $3.13 a gallon. $3.13 a gallon. You go to where's the cheapest gas in the land? Oklahoma. Not only do they have a good football team, it's $2.96 a gallon for gasoline. $2.96. Just makes me ill sometimes just watching some of these numbers. But I get, we got to do it. It's just we're reporting the information. Moving right along. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Jerome Powell gets to keep his job. So we've been asking about that. The Federal Reserve Chairman, we didn't know whether he was going to be replaced. And ironically enough, so the president, kicked the can down the road. So the two contenders for the job was Jerome Powell keeping the job, and one of the Fed presidents, Brainerd, and I never remember her first name, but Ms. Brainerd, she was the other candidate to get that job. Well, the Lael, L-A-E-L, Brainerd. So here's the issue: is the president, he couldn't make a decision. Does that surprise anybody that the president couldn't make a decision? Surprise. So what does he do? He says, Jerome Powell, I am going to renominate you to keep the position. And Ms. Brainerd, we're going to make you the vice chair. So we can make everybody happy. We can get everybody happy in there, and, we didn't have to make a decision. Just throw that out there. That's the way the president rolls. At least, look at the bright side. He didn't make a bad decision this time. So sometimes with the president, no decision is actually a good decision. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, a workshop. What is an FHA Streamline loan? I'm going to tell you 4 ways homeowners can use their equity. We've got some tips on paying down debt during the holidays, and we might search high and low for a featured home. Not sure if we're going to find one, but, we might search high and low for a featured home. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's look and see, what are the markets doing today? Well, something that depends on what you're looking at, but the markets have been rather fascinating already this morning. The Dow Jones is now up 248 points. NASDAQ is down 119 points. The S&P 500, well, when you see the Dow up that much and NASDAQ down that much, well, the S&P 500 is going to be somewhere in the middle. So it's up 10.37 right now. 10-year Treasury is up 6 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities down 25. Market overreacting as it always does. What is it overreacting to? Well, I've told you that already. The market was looking at what was going to happen. Market does not like uncertainty. It never likes uncertainty. So when it starts looking and wondering who the next Fed chairman is going to be, and that's usually addressed, somewhere, I don't know, October, September. Well, this time the president waited till the end of November to tell everybody. Well, the market finally knows which direction we're going. So we're looking at continued high inflation. That's what the market is saying. That's why the bonds dropped so much. Although we did get a good existing home sales, tracks closing on existing homes decreased by 0.8% in October at a 6.34 million unit annualized pace. Supply was down 12% from a year ago, and the median existing price was $353,900, a 13.1% rise. So think about this. When you've got existing home sales down by 0.8, but supply was down 12% from a year ago, 1% during the month. So how do you sell when there's no inventory? That's the problem. Now, whenever you hear the numbers of existing home sales, their median home price of existing sales, listen to the numbers closely, because some people think that has something to do with appreciation. And it has absolutely nothing to do with appreciation. Whenever you hear the words median, that means half the homes sold above that and half the homes sold below that. So what the median is telling you is what the mix of sales are. It has nothing to do with appreciation. So it's what the mix of the sales are. 2-year Treasury note auction was met weak demand. The bid to cover 2.36. So if there's not a lot of demand, again, that's why the prices are dropping. Yields are going up. That's what causes that. So we've talked about that in the past. Let's see what else we have. Is Lyle Brainerd, the other candidate. She's likes to keep rates even lower than Mr. Powell. So that's kind of why we're seeing that. The Fed funds futures. What is Fed funds futures? You're going to start hearing that because we've already talked about the tapering that the Federal Reserve has talked about. So Fed funds futures is where the markets predict what the Federal Reserve is going to do. It has nothing to do with what the Federal Reserve did or does. It's the prediction. So the Fed funds futures pricing in a 100% chance of a rate hike in July. 100% chance of a rate hike in July. So that was that number. Existing home sales, I told you, up 1% to an annualized pace of 6.34%. Sales down nearly 6% year over year. Inventory down 1% from the last month to 1.25 million homes for sale, down 12% year over year. First-time home buyers accounted for 29% of sales. That's up from 28%. Cash buyers increased from 24% from 23. Investors purchased 17% of the homes, up sharply from 13%. Why would the investors be so heavy into the markets? Well, that's simple. They see rents continuing to go up. They're going up dramatically. So if that's the case, yeah, you see what's going on. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Being that we've got the workshop that I'm going to share with you in a little bit, I think we're going to try and get in our real-time real estate segment right now. I think we've got one lined up for you. Real-time real estate. Brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. You can also go to RSR Home Digest, rsrhomedigest.com. 4 ways homeowners can use their equity. Your equity is a powerful tool that can help you achieve your goals as a homeowner, and chances are your equity grew substantially over the past year, according to the latest Equity Insights reports from CoreLogic. Homeowners gained an average of $51,500 in equity over the past year. If you're looking for the best way to use your growing equity, here are 4 options. Number 1, use your equity to buy a home that fits your needs. If you're finding you no longer have the space you need, it might be time to move into a larger home, or it's possible you have too much space and would like something smaller. No matter the situation, consider using your equity to power a move into a home that fits your changing lifestyle. Moving into a larger home can provide extra space for remote work or loved ones. Downsizing, on the other hand, may mean saving time and money by caring for a smaller home. Number 2, move to the location of your dreams. If the size of your home isn't a challenge, but your current location is, it could be time to relocate to a new area. Maybe you enjoy vacationing in the mountains, at the beach, or another area, and you're dreaming of living there year-round. Or perhaps the distance between you and your loved ones is greater than you'd like, and you want to close the gap. No matter what, your home equity can fuel your move to the location where you really want to live. Number 3, start a new business. If you're not ready to move into a new home, you can use your equity to invest in a new business venture. As the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Advocacy says, there is an estimate of 31.7 million small business owners in the United States. Many of them started their business with the equity they had in their home. While it's not recommended that homeowners use their equity for unnecessary spending, leveraging your equity to start a business that you are passionate about can potentially grow your nest egg further. Number 4, in education. Whether you have a loved one preparing to head off to college or you're planning to go back to school yourself, the thought of paying for higher education can be daunting. In either situation, using a portion of your growing equity can help with those costs so you can make an investment in someone's future. Bottom line, your equity can help you achieve your goals. If you're unsure how much equity you have in your home, hey, let's get together and chat, or go to the link, rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. You put in your name, you put in the information about your property. It's going to give you an idea of what the property is worth. It's not all, it's an algorithm. It uses a service that helps, has a lot of data on homes. So is it 100% accurate? Not always, but it does give you a good idea of what your home is worth. So be aware that's there for you. I want you just to know that you can go there, get the information. Then we're going to send you an email, just one, every single month with the update on that information. And it'll tell you what the property in your area, did it go up? Did it go down? It's close, right? So sometimes you'll see maybe a property went up 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000. Maybe it went down the same amount. You never know. It's just going based on what the current market trends are, the desirability of the area. All that comes right into that same situation. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, a workshop. We're going to talk about the FHA Streamline loan. If you bought a house with an FHA loan, I'm going to say March or before, March 2022 or before that, You're not going to want to miss this because you might be able to save a boatload of money. And we'll be back in just a few. We're going to talk about that.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So we got a workshop for you today, brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. Let's talk about this one. What is the FHA Streamline Refinance? And we're looking forward to helping you learn and understand the FHA Streamline Finance, but a little bit about me, obviously. So I've been a consumer advocate working on these radio programs since must be 2010, because I think we're in our 11th year right now. 2010, helping lots of families with their dreams of home ownership, maybe even helping them get out of debt if they follow the instructions the team puts together. So that's always a biggie. Is we can only do so much. We can lead you to water, but sometimes people don't want to do what we share, what we suggest. Here's the issue. Sometimes they look at it and they talk to people that don't exactly know what the programs are all about, what the opportunities are. And they don't always get the best advice because while their friends, family, coworkers are giving them the best advice they have, they may not be educated in all of it. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to go over what the FHA Streamline Finance is, who can qualify for the FHA Streamline, and the unbeatable benefits it offers. We'll go over everything you need to know about qualifications, requirements, and the program itself. First question, are you thinking about refinancing? You should always have that on your mind, right? The whole idea is always, always, always have it on your mind. If you've got a 401k, you should be thinking about, am I positioned properly? Maybe you need to be talking to your financial planner quarterly about that. If you've got an investment program, you need to be talking to your financial planner on a regular basis about that. But for some odd reason, we don't think about probably the biggest investment we have, and we don't think about it being placed strategically and properly other than maybe once every 5 to 10 years. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm in the industry and I study this a lot. We're going to be calling most of the people that are on our database who have asked us to, and reminding people that, something, the first part of December, a lot of people have they're off. They're not working in November, December, the last week. Maybe they got some extra time. I know you've got the holidays coming up, but I'm going to suggest, and our team is going to be suggesting, when was the last time you had your home insurance or auto insurance reviewed? Or is that another one that you just pay the bill whenever they send it to you? It's a set it and forget it. I recommend people, something, every year do an insurance evaluation. Now, even if you have your insurance, your home insurance impounded, it's part of your monthly payment, you're still controlling that. You can still change that if you find that it's not what you have right now is not suitable for you. It's not in your best interest. But I digress. Let's get back to our FHA Streamline. If you have an existing FHA loan, you may want to find out if now is a good time to refinance into an FHA Streamline. The FHA Streamline is a special refinance project or product reserved for homeowners with existing FHA mortgages. And FHA Streamline is the fastest, simplest way for FHA insured homeowners to refinance their mortgages. There are many benefits of the FHA Streamline program, including low refinance rates, lower MIP, that's the mortgage insurance premium rates, mortgage insurance premium refunds, no appraisal, no verification of job or income, no credit check. If you have an existing FHA loan and you want to refinance, the FHA Streamline should be your first stop. Its benefits are nearly unmatched by any other refinance option. For example, there's an additional benefit for FHA-backed homeowners refinancing within the first 3 years of their existing loan origination. The FHA provides a partial refund of your previously paid upfront mortgage insurance premium. That's the UFMIP that showed up on your closing statement. The size of the refund diminishes as the 3-year window elapses. It's important to note that FHA homeowners are only eligible for the Streamline refinance program after 6 months. So your eligibility for an MIP refund starts at 7 months after financing your original FHA loan. It's important to note that FHA homeowners are only eligible, again, after 6 months. It's available as a fixed rate or an adjustable rate mortgage. It comes with a 15 or 30-year term, and there's no FHA prepayment penalty to worry about. Another big plus is that rates for the FHA Streamline refinances are the same as mortgage rates for home buyers with an FHA loan. There's no penalty for having very little equity in your home. The biggest difference between the FHA Streamline and most traditional mortgage refinance options is that the FHA Streamline does not require a home appraisal. Instead, the FHA Streamline will allow you to use your original purchase price as your home's current value, regardless of what your home is actually worth today. The appraisal waiver has been a huge hit with U.S. homeowners, allowing unlimited loan-to-value home loans via the FHA Streamline refinance program. Another big plus is that it's fairly easy for you to refinance your FHA home loan into an FHA Streamline. The FHA Streamline refinance does not require most typical verifications that you need to get new mortgage. For example, FHA's mortgage guidelines mean that you have no employment or income verification. Although the FHA Streamline bypasses traditional mortgage standards like home income verification and credit qualification, the program does enforce minimum standards for applicants, and some lenders will have additional credit requirements. So you want to check with your lender for a complete list of requirements. At a minimum, you're going to need to show 3 months of on-time mortgage payments, at least 210 days since your home purchase or last refinance, a clear monetary benefit to refinance. You can't just do it because somebody told you to. There's got to be a benefit to you. Remember that not all lenders underwrite to the official guidelines of the FHA, and some lenders might have minimum credit score or other underwriting standards for FHA Streamline mortgages. So you want to check with your lender to find out what their rules are. The number one qualification standard for FHA Streamline refinance is that homeowners using the Streamline refinance program must have a perfect payment history stretching back at least 3 months. This means that homeowners with 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day late payments are not allowed to use the refinancing option. The FHA also requires the borrowers make 6 mortgage payments on their current FHA-insured loan, and that 210 days pass from the most recent closing in order to be eligible for that Streamline refinance. The refinance must have a purpose. This means that Streamline refinance applicants must demonstrate a net tangible benefit from the refinance, meaning there will be a clear monetary benefit to the new loan. If you're wondering what that net tangible benefit means, it is defined as reducing the combined rate by at least 0.5%. Taking cash out to pay bills is not allowed. net tangible benefit, and loan balances may not increase to cover loan costs. You can't take extra cash out when refinancing with an FHA Streamline. This refinance is designed mainly to lower the homeowner's interest rate payment. So that's just the basics of the program. If you want more information about it, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Someone on our team will be happy to share that information with you. And again, what do we do? We do these workshops for you, and there's a whole series of them. If you haven't got them, you've missed a lot out on those. We've got a whole series of workshops to try and educate you from people that are doing this every day. And if you want more information on any of our workshops, just give me a call at 800-306-1990. They're on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Vimeo page. I think we've got them on Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, they're there. Anywhere you want to look for them or anywhere you can find on any of the socials. If you've got questions, again, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a lot still to cover for you. We've got a featured home for you. I know 3 tips to pay down debt during the holidays, and we may even get an extra Your Credit Matters in there as well. You can reach me anytime off your number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. With every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. I guess I better find, I had fun with this once because this one is our friend Mike Dunn. He has a interesting way. His tagline on all of his things are Special Agent Dunn. So if you look at any time he prices things, he deals mostly in low seven figure homes, but he puts these pricing always ends in 007. And hey, you know something? I'm a simple guy, so it took me a while to figure out why he does that 007. Well, I don't know about James Bond, but Special Agent Dunn, that might be the whole issue right there. So our featured home, 105 Outpost. Not outhouse, outpost. So that's in Irvine. Absolutely stunning Eastwood family home and one of the best and most usable and flexible floor plans available. Amazing location, less than 100 yards to award-winning Eastwood Elementary School and less than a mile as the crow flies to award-winning Northwood High School and award-winning Sierra Vista Middle School. You got to take a tour of 105 Outpost and consider it here you go, done deal. So we'll get guest suite downstairs, 3 bedrooms plus a loft upstairs. Interesting. $1,698,007 is the list price on this. Now, we're not giving you any offers to buy it or sell it because that's not what we do. We just educate. 30-year fixed loan down payment. If you put 10% down, you're looking at about $69 a month. 20% down, you're looking at $61.95 a month. If you put 25% down strategically, you're looking at $52.84 a month. And yes, I will tell you the APRs 3.838, 3.725, and 3.075. Those are principal and interest payments only. You still have to add your taxes, your insurance, your HOA, and if there's any mortgage insurance. And my NMLS 217037. But you got to talk to one of the team, and they can put together a specialized program for you if you have an interest. And you can give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Special Agent Mike Dunn. He's the listing agent for 105 Outpost in Irvine, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms. Stunning family home. And again, listed at $1,698,007. That's the Featured Home segment brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. So let's take a look at 3 tips to help pay down debt during the holidays. That's a Your Credit Matters segment that we'll bring you today. Brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Again, 3 tips to help pay down debt during the holidays. Paying down debt sometimes can be a long and frustrating process. The average consumer owes $5,315 in credit card debt. If you too are chipping away at a significant amount of debt, it might make you feel better to know that many other consumers are in a similar situation. No matter which debt elimination strategy you choose, it will likely involve some sacrifices on your end. Perhaps you're giving up some of your free time to earn extra cash through a part-time job or side gig. Or you might be saying no to purchases you'd like to make in order to cut expenses. Whether you're earning more money, spending less, or doing some combination of both, the holidays can introduce new obstacles into your credit card debt elimination journey. But you don't have to let the fall and winter festivities derail your progress. Here are 3 tips that can help you if you're trying to pay down debt during the holidays. Number 1, plan ahead. It's normal to have added demands on your budget during the last few months of the year, depending on the holidays you observe. You might be used to making extra purchases for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, Hanukkah, or other holidays. You can still give yourself permission to enjoy the holidays. Even when you're trying to pay down debt, it doesn't mean you can't celebrate and take part in time-honored traditions. However, you might need to make a few financial adjustments along the way. The first step to staying on track with your debt payoff goals during the holidays is to create a budget for extra expenses you'll encounter. By creating a budget, you can keep your spending in check, and you can set aside some funds to apply toward your debt elimination goals at the same time. If your budget is already tight and you cannot cut your expenses, you may need to keep your holiday spending budget small, but it's better to plan ahead for some spending rather than putting those purchases on a credit card that you'll have to figure out how to pay off plus interest later. Number 2, look for ways to save. On top of budgeting for holiday-related purchases, you can work to make your dollars stretch. There are plenty of ways to get creative with your money around the holidays and still enjoy the season. So here are a few ideas to provide you with a little inspiration. Make good use of your credit card rewards. Do you have credit cards that allow you to earn rewards on your spending? The holidays can be a great time to redeem the cash back or points you've accumulated throughout the year. Credit card rewards can provide an alternative way to pay for holiday gifts, meals, and more, all without taking away funds from your debt elimination goals. Try to do-it-yourself approach. From handcrafted Halloween costumes, it's a little late for that, into homemade holiday gifts. We've got the Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, all of those still to come. The DIY approach to spend less, you have more cash left over to apply towards your debt. Have a no-spend holiday. Giving gifts during the holiday season can often be a source of stress, not just for you, but also your loved ones. So it might be worthwhile to consider the gift of not giving during the upcoming holiday season. When you and your loved ones collectively remove the obligation to give presents, it could remove financial pressure and help everyone enjoy the season even more. If you find ways to enjoy the holidays with less money, then you set aside in your budget, that's a bonus. Then you could funnel unused holiday funds back towards your debt payoff efforts. Number 3, take advantage of bonuses. During the holidays, there are times when you might come into extra cash, gift cards, gift certificates, and more. Some employers give holidays or year-end bonuses that could help boost your budget. Or perhaps you have students, loved ones, or customers who show you with a little something extra around this time of year. If you're fortunate enough to be on the receiving end of an extra bonus, consider putting at least some of that money to work for your financial benefits. Sure, it might be fun to take a trip or splurge on a big purchase when you receive an extra influx of cash, but keeping the momentum going on your debt payoff journey might be even more satisfying in the long run. Bottom line, paying down debt can be a wise use of your financial resources as you eliminate debt, especially credit card balances. You can save money on interest and reduce the strain on your monthly budget. If you reduce your credit utilization ratio, you might even improve your FICO score as a bonus. It's understandable that you might want to slow down your debt payoff efforts during the holiday season, but try not to apply the brakes completely. Remember, every dollar of high interest debt you pay off can be a step in the right financial direction. And I'm going to tell you one of them that's a real simple one that you might think about. How about, just some of those eating out options or mindless spending? I went to Starbucks the other day. I do that frequently. Think about how much money you're spending just at Starbucks for yourself every day. What's your habit? Right? You can actually call it, just like an alcoholic or a druggie. What's your Starbucks habit? $5 a day, $10 a day? Well, redirect that money. Don't go there. Maybe you're going to, instead of getting that $5 Starbucks cup of coffee, you can go over there and get a $5 gift card, and that's a gift for somebody. You've just redirected it and make a cup of coffee at home. Now, I'm a simple guy. I just went on Amazon and bought a bunch of K-Cup holiday blend Pete's, and I think it was like 80 cents, 90 cents a cup. Compare that to going to Starbucks for the same cup of coffee is, $2.50, $3 for just a drip, right? And, well, Starbucks isn't a sponsor for us, so I'm going to say this anyway. What the heck, right? I'm going to suggest, does anybody like Starbucks coffee? Right? If you go into a Starbucks and you listen to what people order, sometimes their orders are pretty elaborate. Why are their orders so elaborate? Because they're trying to mask the flavor. Right? Caramel macchiato or a 2-pump classic sweet something or another with a whole bunch of milk. Mask the flavor. Right? Vanilla latte. Isn't that mostly milk? Right? You're masking the flavor. Vanilla latte with 2 Splenda. We're going to get all that fat milk, and we want to have diet sugar. I just throw that out there, right? I mean, it's just for the conversation of this whole thing, right? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, giving you these thoughts, just because there are many, many ways. I hear people say, well, there's no possible way I could save any more money. Hogwash, you haven't tried. Throw that in there. That was a Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by mysocallender.com. Josh, I think we got time for one more Your Credit Matters, don't we? Okay, we're going to do it again. Not the same one. I don't repeat myself. You can tell it's coming up on the end of the year, right? I mean, and I haven't even started having any beverages yet. Your Credit Matters is brought to you by mysocallender.com. Important changes coming to collector communications. You're one of millions of Americans with an account in collections. You may soon see changes in your interactions with debt collectors. For the first time since the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act was passed in, when was that one passed? Anybody got a guess for when that was passed? Okay, I'll tell you, 1977. The industry has clearer guidance for using modern communication methods like emails and texts. I don't think the emails and texts were around in 1977. I could be wrong, but I don't know how long emails have been around or texts have been around. New guidelines called Regulation F will be enforced by the CFPB and will go into effect on November 30th, 2021. Here's an overview of some changes you may see if you have an account with a collection agency. Phone calls, just as with the original FDCPA, that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Third-party collection agencies can only call when it's convenient for you. Generally, that's between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m., your local time, unless you give another time frame. They're not allowed to call you at work, and they have to stop calling if you ask. Under Regulation F, collectors can only attempt 7 calls to you within a 7-day time period. If you happen to speak to an agent on one of those calls, they cannot attempt to call you again for 7 days unless you give permission for additional calls. Emails and text messages. Collectors will have more options to communicate with you, but with some limits. In addition to calling and sending letters, collectors can only send emails and text messages. Before they can email or text you, the collector has to get your consent. However, that consent does not necessarily have to be given directly to the collector. For instance, if you gave your original creditor permission to email you, the collection agency can email you at the same address as long as the creditor notifies you that your account is being sent to a collection agency who may contact you via email. On the plus side, collectors are required to provide a relatively easy process for opting out of our electronic communications. Each message must include information on how you can unsubscribe. Note that collectors are allowed to send you any legally required notices, even if you've opted out. They're also allowed to reply once to any communication you initiate through a channel you previously opted out of. Controlling communication. You're still allowed to ask a collector to stop communicating with you, and you can be specific about the ways you're okay with receiving information. For example, you can ask the collector to stop emailing you, but continue to allow text messages. You can send a written cease communication letter to stop the collector from contacting you completely, but keeping at least one channel open may be worth considering. You'll be able to stay in the loop about your account and receive early warning of any accounts that may require or actions that may be taken. Required disclosures. Another new change is that now you don't have to guess about whether you could be sued over a past due collection account. Collection agencies are required to let you know if a debt is no longer legally enforceable. Can you say statute of limitations? Having this information allows you to make more informed decisions about how to handle the collection. Before a collection agency can report a debt to the credit bureaus, they have to notify you about the account. The notice must provide instructions for disputing the debt or getting more information about the original creditor. This update prevents parked debts and unnecessary damage to your FICO scores. Asking for proof is important because it gives you a chance to make sure the debt is legitimate and you're not being scammed by a bogus collection agency. State law. Being familiar with the collection law where you live is also helpful. In some cases, state or local laws are stricter than the federal laws, providing additional protection from abusive collection practices. If you want more information about this, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with our buddy Jeff Sipes. He is our guru on the matter. That is Your Credit Matters, brought to you by mysocallender.com. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I tried to swim against